was the president of the Historical Society when it first got its new operations over there in the old Poway Park.
He volunteered at the Historical Society here in Poway, and he was in charge of a lot of the photographs, the historical photographs. Volunteering at the Historical Society affected Dad's life. I think it enriched his life. It gave him purpose, and he was able to find a use for his skills that he acquired over the years in photography.
He met my mother in Missoula, Montana, which is a fine city, and she's from a Lebanese heritage, and he was embraced by that big, huge Lebanese family.
He was actually a photographer. He had started a photography studio in Missoula, Montana, and my mom was working in the lab where my dad had his film, where he would bring his film to be developed. And he got to meet my mom and her sisters and some of her cousins and asked Mom out on a date.
They lived on a farm in a ranch, and guns were part of just like having a pencil in your hand. It's something they used. They used it every day. So they were in the house a lot, and somehow that gun went off, and my dad had shrapnel right here. You see the scars, and it was a shotgun, so the blast went off, and he did lose his arm. He was 9 years old. We left the little pellets that were still stuck in his brain and in his little burial box. It was something else. My dad was an amazing person because he did grow up with one arm, and as a little kid growing up with him, I never even noticed the difference. He was still my dad. He was a whole man because he did everything. We even rode motorcycles. He skied. He, hiked. He did everything. That arm was not even a part, like it was anything to slow him down. He was a very determined man.
Well, for example, when he was building this house, and he noticed that the carpenters had a handful of nails, and they would roll them out in a progress. They'd roll them out and hammer, and roll out and hammer, and roll them out and hammer. And Dad actually created something that he could use with his hook, where he could roll out the nails and almost keep up with them. So things like that. He found a way of using his hook.
He wanted to prove to everybody that he was just the same. The arm meant nothing. And if you look in a lot of his pictures, he always liked to hide the arm. He didn't want to let people know that he was missing an arm, because he wanted to prove that he was the same as everybody else. He didn't want to be treated any differently.
He's buried at Dearborn Memorial Park.
He died October 17th, so within a week or so, we buried him here in Poway. And him and Mom they already bought their plots and knew where they were going to be. We buried his ashes, and we just got the headstone set, and it looks really nice.
We left the little pellets that were still stuck in his brain and in his little burial box. It was something else. So.